Good morning, guys. My name is Madison, and today I'm going to be talking about the potential health benefits of Brassica oleracea as a staple food crop. And today I have a little uh, Brassica cauliflower mascot. So I wanted to start by going over my background and just introduce you guys to myself a little bit. So back in 2017, I received a bachelor's in chemistry from Florida State. I then went on to do an online graduate program through University of Florida in pharmaceutical science. I worked in retail pharmacy for 3 years and became a certified pharmacy technician. Currently, I am continuing my education in the soil and crop science department here at CSU. I'm also doing a permaculture design certificate through Oregon State and my master gardener certificate through CSU as well. So I suppose you could say those are part of my big, hairy, audacious goals. Um, During my master's program at UF, I did a project on the potentials of natural foods as functional medicine for the prevention of chronic disease. While I was working in pharmacy, I had noticed that a lot of the drugs that we were prescribing were diet related. And so I determined that of the top 10 most prescribed medications in the US, 6 of them are for the treatment of high cholesterol, high blood pressure, and prevention of congestive heart failure. So all of these are symptoms of chronic disease. And so my first semester at CSU, I was in the basement of the plant science building. This is not the plant science building. This is our brand new nutrient agriculture building on campus. I could not find a single picture of the plant science building. I think it's because it's so old and they don't want to kind of advertise that, but that is the plant science building. And I was walking in the basement and I noticed the cancer prevention laboratory. And I kind of thought to myself, like, what is the cancer prevention laboratory doing in the plant science building? And so that kind of intrigued me and had me look up and find out about Dr. Thompson and his research and this class. And so that's kind of how I got involved in taking this course. And so now on to my actual presentation. My favorite thing to tell other people that are not in horticulture is how uh, cauliflower, broccoli, kohlrabi, kale, cabbage, Brussels sprouts, these are all the same plant. They're all the brassica and they're bred for different characteristics of the plant. And so I actually got this idea for this project while I was sitting out on the patio with my friends. We were getting ready to go to a Red Rock show, and I was telling them about this. And I kind of had like an epiphany, and I was like, I think we had just completed our staple food crop module, and I was like, since these are all the same plant, are they releasing all of the same phytochemicals? And for that reason, if we're eating a variety of these, are we actually possibly reaching a therapeutic level of these phytochemicals? And so I'm choosing to focus on a very narrow branch of the cruciferous tree. So Brassica is one part of cruciferous, and then the oleracea, it can includes these 7 species. And I did that because since they all have one common origin, I hypothesized that these would all have the most common distinct phytochemicals. And so the leaves, kale and head cabbage are bred for their leaves. Kohlrabi is bred for the stalks. Brussels sprouts are bred for the axillary bud, and cauliflower and broccoli are bred for a flower. And so how do we define a staple food crop? And I think you guys should pause this, and I will give you all a second to kind of think back as to what that is. And now that we're back, now I remember they're eaten in large amounts, they're eaten every day, they're eaten by populations of the world, and they're affordable and accessible across socioeconomic statuses. And so Do we think that Brassica species would qualify as a staple food crop? And so, as we can see from the biography, they're currently consumed across Americas, Asia, and several European countries. They're a central part of the human diet because of their affordability and availability in local markets. We have almost 4 million hectares of brassicas grown worldwide in 2021. And so I would say I believe that meets the requirements as a staple food crop. And so I guess the next question is, are if we are consuming a variety of these, do we think that the phytochemicals that are present in them are enough that we can reach the therapeutic window? And so this is uh, pretty much the quintessential part of drug design and delivery. And so the therapeutic window is kind of the area that determines effective dosage. And so I'll just give my example. So a top 200 drug, atorvastatin, it's used to treat cholesterol. Typically, that's given in a dose of 10 to 20 milligrams per day. And so if I'm taking my atorvastatin every single day, my peak of effect is aligning in this therapeutic window. And so I suppose the question um, is there a particular phytochemical that is reaching that therapeutic window and able to reach our target receptors and give us those potential health benefits? And so remember, food is the vehicle of choice. So we don't want supplements. We don't want isolated compounds. We want to enjoy the um, community and flavor of food and the synergistic activity of all of the phytochemicals working together. And so what's interesting about Brassica is that you might feel a little disappointed if you are felt that you need to eat large amounts of one food in order to feel satisfied or in order to satisfy those therapeutic effects. But maybe if we're getting all those the same phytonutrients from a variety of different um, characteristics of the plant, maybe this could make us more inclined and make it more desirable to integrate into our diets. Um, and so, I could eat raw broccoli, I can eat roasted broccoli, I can eat broccoli and pasta, but I can also eat cauliflower, and this is a cauliflower soup, coleslaw, and bacon wrapped Brussels sprouts, and a kale salad. And all of these things are exciting, and they're exciting to my palate, and they make me want to uh, put them into my everyday cuisines. And so, next is to observe whether brassica is a functional food. And something that I found in the literature is this allyl isothiocyanate. It says it's considered to be the most important cancer chemopreventative phytochemical with other potential health benefits. And so, because they're large and frequent consumption, they may become significant sources of nutrients and bioactive compounds in the daily diet. So they prevent oxidative stress, induce detoxification enzymes, stimulate your immune system, decrease the risk of cancer, inhibit malignant transformation and carcinogenic mutation, and reduce proliferation of cancer cells. And if we recall, these are a lot of the underlying pathogenesis for what is chronic disease. And so I wanted to kind of dive into what might the concentrations of isothiocyanate in brassica look like. And so this one literature article I found was great, but I thought that the unit that they displayed the uh, concentrations in was a little bit undecipherable for us. And so It's hard to imagine what a micromole per 100 grams of wet weight is. And so I went ahead and I converted it. And so I found that the molecular weight of isothiocyanate was 58 grams per mole, which would mean that like, in cabbage, for instance, we would be getting 1.84 milligrams per 100 grams. And so I suppose the next step would be to determine what is that effective therapeutic concentration. So, in for different molecules, it's in different drug molecules, it's different. So, even though you take, like in my last example, you take 10 milligrams of atorbeside, but regularly we take 100 milligrams of ibuprofen, or like for example, alprazolam, Xanax, you would an effective dose for that is 0.5 milligrams. And so it really depends on the molecule and uh, the molecular weight of the molecule, as well as how it's metabolized in our body, into like what metabolites actually create that therapeutic effect. And so there needs to be a lot of um, kind of research that goes into determining the effective concentration. And something that I thought while doing this is I wonder if precision medicine could help kind of determine target receptors or biomarkers for this. And so next, the potential for anti-inflammatory and chemopreventative action. The phytochemicals are modulators of key cellular signaling pathways. And so high intake of brassica vegetables may be associated with decreased chronic disease risk, lower incidence for different kinds of cancers, and due to the counteractivity of inflammatory pathways and exhibition of chemopreventative activity. The health promoting effects have been attributed to glucosinolates, which are sulfur containing compounds almost exclusively present in the plants of the family Brassicaceae. And so the isothiocyanates are one of the major degradation products of glucosinolates, and are partly held to be responsible for the health promoting effects observed in populations with high consumption of Brassicaceae. And so this was from that literature article, and it said, or it shows the mechanism that metabolizes glucosinolate into the isothiocyanate. And then these are some other brassica associated phytochemicals. And so I suppose there's two things that we're going to look for. One is omics methods. Could we use omics methods to kind of look at these molecules and see not only similarities across the Brassica family, but whether or not they may have potential for bioavailability, and future research for pharmacodynamic pathways. I also wanted to mention, so there was a study that I remember we went over in class that it was better to eat a low amount of botanically diverse foods than it was to eat a large amount of low botanically diverse foods. And so I do realize that if you were to be eating all of these things in the Brassica family, that you might be limiting your botanic diversity. But what's so awesome about this food group is that they're a good base for a lot of cuisines, and so you can really implement them into almost any meal and kind of mix and match and allow yourself to create a high botanically diverse diet. Um, and if we were to consider the other Brassica family members, maybe we could also include arugula, horseradish, mustard, radish, and bok choy into our Brassica cuisine as well. Uh, and with that, I wanted to leave you guys all with a quote, and that is, never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has. Here are my references. Thank you guys so much for listening. I really enjoyed interacting with you guys all this semester, and I look forward to uh, speaking with you guys next semester. I hope you have a great holiday. Thank you.